Okay, story time. There has been two times in my life that I have tried to make homemade mac and cheese. Because I love mac and cheese. I love me some Velveeta. And I've always wanted to make like some good mac and cheese like you get at the restaurants. I do what I need to do. I make a roux. The roux goes fine. You know, mix the flour, the butter, all that. I mix the cheese in. Everything's so beautiful. And then, of course, I mix in the noodles. And then I sprinkle some cheese on top. I put it in the oven. And then it's finally time. I get the family around. I get the girl around. We're all about to eat my beautiful, scrumptious mac and cheese. We take a bite of the mac and cheese. It tastes really, really off. So I start thinking, what on earth went wrong? I started looking at all my ingredients. And then I looked at the flour that I put in the roux. I didn't put in flour. I put in powdered sugar. And it was so bad. No one could finish it. So 1 year later, I tried again. All was well. I know where everything is. I can't get anything mixed up. So what I do, I go to the fancy grocery store. I get the fancy cheese, smoked Gouda, Gruyere, Parmigiano Reggiano. And then I'm all set to make such a beautiful homemade mac and cheese, finally. So I do what you do. I make sure I grab the flour this time. I grab the butter, I grab the cheese, and make my roux. And everything's great, everything's going so well. I'm mixing all the super fancy cheeses that cost me way too much. And then, it's time. It's time to eat it. We get ourselves a plate. And then we start eating. And it tastes the exact same way it did last time. I put flour in it this time, what went wrong? And then we find out the powdered sugar was mislabeled as flour. I put powdered sugar in it again. So I wasted so much money to make a super fancy mac and cheese. And then a week later from that, on my day off, I say, nah, screw this. We're gonna be victorious. So I brute forced it. I got the same cheeses, the same ingredients. I got a whole new pack of flour to make damn sure I don't put powdered sugar in it. I make sure I put flour in it this time. I mix all the cheeses in, make the roux. So I got everything this time. I mix the flour in with the butter. And then I go to pour in the milk. The milk is congealed. It was slime coming out of it. It just keeps going wrong. So I turn the burner off. And I get in my car. I go to the store. I pick up some milk that I paid way too much for. And then I rush back home. Put the yucky roux aside. Make a whole brand new roux. It goes great this time. I mix everything in. The butter. The flour. The milk. And then the fancy cheeses that I paid way too much money for. And then it's all going well. And then the noodles. I pour in the noodles. Stir that thing up. And then I go to eat it. Let me tell you, that thing was so fucking good.